Hey, folks. Hey, we are going live. We're a little bit later today. I just came in from traveling and wanted to make sure that I still spent my time with you all this afternoon, getting us ready for this week's trading. So I'm here. I'm going to give YouTube and Facebook and Twitter a chance to tell the people that we're here. They got to tell the people that I'm here. We're going to do we got a decent agenda, right? I'm going to talk about last week's highlights. I'm going to talk about the meetings that are coming up in FOMC everywhere. We're going to talk about earnings, and then we're going to look at a bunch of stuff on our watch list for the week. That's the plan. We're going to look at we're going to look at our stocks to see what we have going this week. We make sure that our slides are in here. Looks like they're here. I'll add them to the slideshow. I didn't want to add them to the slideshow just yet. Just chill out and wait. Okay, so I hope everybody has had a really good Sunday. I was traveling a little bit this weekend, and if you follow me on social media, you would have seen I was doing a little bit of traveling. I went up to Charlotte and spent some time with some master traders, TJ and JT. And wow, from Impact Investments, not know if shout out to my Impact Investments crew. Whoop, whoop. Wow, we had a blast. I can't even start to describe how nice it was. In this space, I don't know how to say this. We don't really. I don't know if people really like plan to have it be competitive. Sometimes I feel like it's competitive. So it's not always easy to have conversations with people who are in this same space doing the same thing. So where there are other coaches, and I really ain't, that's me. I don't be trying to steal nobody's shine, but other people sometimes may feel like you are, or they may be worried about theirs, or they kind of steal your shine. I don't know. Anyway, generally, people who are doing what we do don't necessarily talk to each other. I don't know. It's weird. So anyway, I got to do that with some people that, I've not really spent a lot of time doing that, or really any time. Now I'll say a lot of time, no time doing that. Not because I didn't have a desire, but because it just didn't happen. Right? It wasn't that I didn't want that. It just didn't happen. So I got to spend time talking to people who also have a community that is thriving and doing its thing. Nobody was feeling, threatened. They're on the buyer side. I'm on the seller side. And I see that there could be definitely, we talked about there could be some synergy there because you're doing kind of two different things. But the whole package, because most people want to be able to be sellers and be buyers. You want to use the skills when it's like a tool, like tools in the tool bag. You want to be able to whip out your hammer or pull out your screwdriver, or depending on what you need it for. So, hey, Miss Deborah, and hey, Tanya. So, that was a good time that I spent with those guys in Charlotte. It was really a blessing. My husband and I took a little road trip, and we like doing that. So we came back today, drove back today. Hey, Kendra, we drove back today, and I made it back just in time. JIT, baby. Okay, I'm going to go ahead. Let me see if I can get this light to come on without that one going off. Nope, I didn't. I need both these lights to come on, but this one. Y'all like, what is she doing? What are you doing? Okay, I'm gonna leave it like it is because I can get that light on, but I even though I can stand up to do it, it's just we'll be fine without it. Okay. Let's go see what last week had to hold for us. What kind of fun stuff did we have on tap last week? Last week. Okay. If you got any tickers that are on your mind or questions that you got, please go ahead and put those into the chat so we can answer them along the way. Hey, Tanya, we can answer them along the way. Questions about this week, last week, tickers. I got a list coming that's going to have all our tickers for the week. But if you've got some questions or something you want us to talk about, then go ahead and you want me to answer. Put those questions into the comments. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? Okay, so this was SPX. Let me go to the weekly chart so we can start off with what did the week do. And y'all see this right here. This last 2 weeks have just been wow. It's just been moving. We're literally at all-time highs. We're closed at like 5303. We got a few gaps here that are going to need filling. I'm going to go ahead and fill those in now while I'm here, just so as we move forward, everybody will know there's a gap here, right? We'll know there's a gap that came in. There's several gaps below us, buyers gaps that are still in need of being filled. Okay, yes, these are the gaps. So this was last week. I was wondering why this one is so big, but I think when I switch to daily, I'll be able to see why it's so big. But this is what's going on. This is what went on last week. We had this, what's this, 4 weeks, 5 weeks ago, we had this big old red candle. And then every week since then, by the dip, up, see go, and we're over 5,300 at this point. We did get up as high as 5,325. It didn't sustain there, so I really probably should put another line up there so we'll know that's how high we did get. This would be called a demand zone. I look to the side because I always get supply and demand mixed up. I go with support and resistance, but I remember that supply and support are not at the same place. The S's don't match. So where support is here, supply has to be up here. And the supply zone is basically this area up here where there is, where's my little pencil? There he is. This little area here, this whole wick here would be called, y'all can't really see it, my little markers right there. That will be our supply zone, will be up at the top where there is some liquidity and you can grab it and go do. It's going to do whatever it does. It's going to do what it does. All right, that's what it's going to do. So that is what happened last week on SPX. If we look at the daily on SPX, nope, I didn't want you to keep drawing. Thank you, though. Okay. If we look at the daily on SPX, this is what our week looked like on a daily basis. We did have, this was last Friday. Then we had Monday, Tuesday, gapped up for Wednesday. Thursday was a bit of a red day. And then Friday, can you say doji? Oh my goodness, this candle, you almost can't even see. You almost can't even see the open and the close because they're the same place. Absolutely the same place. Now, this was Friday, and Friday was an OPEX day. And I believe when we were on our call Friday, I mentioned the fact that on OPEX days, a lot of times you see a lot of consolidation. But now this would be called, I don't know if y'all can see this, this would be called a hammer, which basically means this long wick could indicate some further movement upwards. It could indicate further movement upwards. Yeah, Tanya says, hopefully SOXL will turn around as a sympathy for NVIDIA earnings. I had to roll SOXL because it went in the money. Yep, that's good wisdom is to roll it. Hey, Tamara, how are we doing? Janae, good evening. Hey, Sharon, how you doing? So, yeah, so this little candle from Friday lets us know there may be a little more upwards movement. But what do y'all think made the market move like this? Anybody got an idea? I'll tell you, it starts with an N and ends with a video. Yeah, NVIDIA. It had a good little move, pop. NVIDIA did a move. And CPI. Oh, my goodness. CPI data came in. I want to say it was Wednesday. It came in and ran the market up, and away. So this is a gap that shows up on that showed up between Tuesday and Wednesday. And then Friday's price, this is NVIDIA we're looking at, came right down to that gap. The wick did go into the price action, did go into the gap some. But for me, and this is only my preference, I don't consider the gap filled unless it's been filled by the box. The wicks fill, not just price action and shadows as they call it. And for me, that doesn't for me make it filled. But again, everybody's different, not trying to manage anybody's trading, but I think whatever you're going to do, just be consistent with whatever you think. If you think a gap is filled with the wick, then be consistent with that. And if you don't think, you think the body needs to fill it for the gap to be filled, then be consistent with that. All right. But that's what NVIDIA did, pull back a little bit. Now, NVIDIA has earnings coming up this week. And, I'm going to spec you guess. A lot of people are probably going to feel that NVIDIA is going to take off. Now, as far as time frame continuity, it's got, a lot of green for time frame continuity. But when we look at the chart, will it continue upwards? Don't rightly know. Let's go see. Let's go look at the chart and see what the chart tells us, because really what we have, some things do defy the guidelines of price action, and then some things don't. Okay, when you look back at it, you're like, well, what did it do? We do see, for those who trade the strat, not sure if we have any stratters here, but that's why you see these numbers 1, 2, and 3. There's no 3s on here, but that's what this is. This is the strat. And as far as the strat goes, the 2, it could be a continuation and continue with time frame continuity and going up, but we do have some resistance right here at 942. Last time it hit 942, it hit it and pulled back from 942 all the way back down to 764. Actually, this is 942. Yep. The high of this candle was actually 967. Could it do the very same thing? Yeah, it could. Yeah, it could. Where basically now, I'm only guessing. None of this stuff is financial advice. I'm only saying that what could potentially happen. I think some people are anticipating it could go up here and then come on back down. Some people are anticipating, I'm not sure what kind of arrows I'm drawing, anticipating that it's automatically going to run and going to have calls. And it might pump. It really might, but then it really might not. So this is the thing. Somebody asked me a couple times, I've been asked today when I put out our list of trades, they're like, why is it NVIDIA on the list? And it's because generally as sellers, all that volatility created by a binary event like options, like earnings, the sellers ain't for that. No, not really for that. So we'll wait till let's see when the earnings happens, and then we hop on the train after that as a seller. Because you're going to, whatever you get on your seller trade, you're going to get that money, and you're not going to necessarily benefit from a move going up or down. You're going to get whatever you signed up for in the beginning. It's unlike buying. But if you are in a trade and it goes huge binary event, and it goes the opposite direction, your trade, which was good before earnings, is now in the tank after earnings. We might as well wait, because theta decay is in our favor. So we can enter NVIDIA or any other trade on Friday if you so choose. There's no reason to rush in when you're doing that. So this is the week. This is NVIDIA on the weekly chart. Could it go ahead this next week and hit that and come back? It absolutely could. Will it? I don't know. I don't know. From what I can see, we just came on the daily chart. Why are you doing this? On the daily chart, we just came. No. Let me get the app right. On the daily chart, we just hit resistance, and we've come back now, and we've come down to the bottom of this gap. Now the top of this gap, but the gap will play support. This gap will play support. The top of the gap, the middle, and the bottom of this gap can play some support, right? So that it could definitely, you see how it stopped right here at the top of this gap? Could it go on through that gap? Absolutely. It could. And then, hit some support that's down here, which the next support I see is right. See, all these candles are all here together, kind of hanging out. You can put support right in here. It doesn't have to be. Just remember, support is a zone. It's not a hard line. And that is 892. So could it come on back down to the bottom of this gap and maybe jump? Or could it come on down to 892? Both of those things can happen. Yeah, currently the current price is 924. But NVIDIA really, for all intents and purposes, is between two zones. Okay. Jamie said NVIDIA has moving average support on the weekly and daily. At the very least, it's not overbought yet on either. Okay. So there's room. It could be bought. I'm not saying it couldn't. I'm not saying it couldn't go up some more and run back into this resistance and pull back. Listen, I got one moving average that's on right now. Let me see if I need to turn on. Here we go. Let's turn on another moving average, and let's see what we see. Why did the other ones not show up? My moving averages are more than just one. I don't need the strat screener. I may need to go over to the other side. Take me to the other side of town. Okay, so here we go. This is the Bollinger Bands. This is still NVIDIA. Bollinger Bands are turned on here. Let's see what's the We've got the mid range, and you've got your moving averages here. And it does have moving average support, as Jamie was saying. It could definitely stay on up above here. And then you got the top of the Bollinger Band is also turning down, so it could bump into that and come on. And you're running right here into resistance. This whole resistance zone is here as well. And it just came right back out of that zone. It could do several things. You've got support based on these moving averages that could provide you. You got time frame continuity to the upside, but you still got resistance right up here in this zone. Okay. Keep that in mind when you're trading NVIDIA. Please don't automatically assume just because everybody talking about it that it's going to go up. It might, but it might not. You see, it does know how to go down. NVIDIA knows how to go down. So don't automatically assume. I'm not saying it's not gonna do that, but I'm saying don't automatically go with that unless you're going to check your own technical analysis. I have come to understand as time has passed that I will look at stuff for myself, because when people are calling stuff out, you gotta know, first of all, you need to understand what is their trading style, what's their trading plan, what are they trading? Are they trading as a buyer? Are they trading as a seller? Are they a scalper? Are they a swing trader? Because a swing trade and a scalper are going to trade two different types of positions. Are they only going to do earnings and pop right back out as soon as the market opens the next day? Are they going to just want a little bit of a pop and put a whole bunch of contracts on it? You don't know. Are they selling? You need to just know all these extra things if you're going to follow somebody's call outs. You need to know more about the somebody. Okay. Sunday looks like Powell was speaking today at 3:30. The market's not open, so that wasn't of import per se. But look at Monday. Y'all see this foolery? All day tomorrow. FOMC talking. They talking all day. 7:30 Bostic, 8:45 Bostic, 9 o'clock Waller and Barr, 10:30 Jefferson, 2 o'clock Mester. Now some of these are yellow. Some of these are Waller is orange, as they say. That's all tomorrow, all day long. That's happening. Tuesday, 4 a.m. Market's going to be closed. But at 9 o'clock, we've got Waller speaking again, Barkin, 9 o'clock. 9:05, Williams, 9:10, Boston. There must be a meeting going on. Let me look over here in the folder. Barr is speaking, Mester speaking at 7 o'clock Tuesday night. Then on Wednesday, let me go over here and see what the reason is behind all these speakers. See if there's something going on. Economic Outlook and Monetary Policy at an online event hosted by Peterson Institute. Okay, more hawkish than expected is good for currency. Federal Reserve members vote on where to set the nation's key interest rates. Their public engagements are often used to drop subtle clues regarding future monetary policy. Okay, so that's what's going on. Sorry, you all, that I'm moving in and out like that. So that's all Tuesday. Wednesday, existing home sales is 10 o'clock in the morning. Crude oil inventories at 10:30. And then FOMC meeting minutes. We do know that when these meeting minutes come out, that's why you see this red folder right here, because that always causes great volatility. Always does. Okay, day one on Thursday. Day one of the G7 meetings is starting. That's on Thursday. Unemployment claims, flash manufacturing PMI, flash services PMI. That's all 9:45. New home sales, natural gas, FOMC member Bostic speaking at 3. So Thursday, again, loaded. Every day I've mentioned so far has landmines. As Jamie would say, there's landmines on every day. Friday, we've got the G7 meetings continuing. Core durable goods orders, those are orange folders. Waller is speaking, 9:35, orange folders. University of Michigan, red folder, consumer sentiments. So every day this week, there's something going on that could potentially cause issues. All right. Something going on every day. So that means you're going to need to, as we say, trade lightly, trade diamond hands. You're going to want to be sure that what you got, you can ride the waves. And I really want to say that sometimes not trading is a strategy, or minimizing what you're trading is a strategy. Those are good strategies, minimizing what you're trading or not trading at all. I know we don't like to not trade at all. We're like, no, I got to trade. And I've really found out, well, there's been times, it's not a whole lot, but there's been times when I've not traded, and it's like a freedom of doing things during the day where my mind does not drift back to those trades, right? Of course, when you're in stuff, they're thinking about it, which that's what you should be doing. Your money's on the line. But y'all know we still in Sim May. I'm gonna swing back around to Sim May for sure. Here's our earnings for the week. We've got Monday morning, we've got Legend Biotech, we got 10 Cent Music, Bit Farms, which is this the right week? No, that doesn't feel like the right week. That's not the right week, because I'm thinking some of those were mentioned last week. Let me find the right week for our earnings, because that ain't it. That ain't it. Oh, here we go. Come on. Okay, I'm going to change the screen. Stop sharing. Y'all hold on. Let me get this on the right screen. I'm going to share screen. Where are we? I'll share screen one. And then I can see it that way. There we go. Here we go. Ooh. I was like, what we was looking at, I thought that was looking a little like replay. So here we go. May 20th. Thank you to Earnings Whispers, who always puts this out. Now, remember, the earnings list is extensive. They give us a graphic that gives us a nice little composite, but all the earnings are not on this graphic, right? You can go to, I want to say Yahoo Finance /earnings. There's a few places you can find it. You can probably just do a Google list, who has earnings this week, Google search, and they'll tell you. So this is not the entirety of all the earnings. They're going to tell you the ones that are like anticipated. Okay, so Monday morning, we've got Lee, I believe is an Asian company, Wix globally, Nexon, 360 Finance, Compugen, Arrowit, or I don't know if that's a Q or not, Star Equity Holdings, Atranu, and Sohu. This is Asian. Both of these seem to be Asian companies. On Monday, after close, Palo Alto, PANW. I think that's the one that the congressperson lady is all in on. I can't think of her name right now. Maybe if y'all can remember it, you can put it in the chat. Palo Alto, Zoom is Monday after close, Trip.com, James Hardy, Nordson, Keysight, Transcat, Tuya, Beam, and Hesai. Tuesday morning, we've got Zim. Zim used to give a really good dividends, and then they went, and the dividend stopped, and people, once the dividend really quit, people quit buying it. And so the stock just went, it's almost like there's a self-fulfilling prophecy, but it's almost like after they quit doing the dividend because the stock was falling, and when they quit doing the dividend, the stock fell even further, so you can't even recover. But anyway, Macy's is Tuesday morning, Lowe's, AutoZone, Eagle Materials, BioMX, Xpeng is on Tuesday morning, Property Guru, looks like Full Truck Alliance, and Eagle Point. On Tuesday after market, Toll Brothers, I believe Toll Brothers is like housing or house builders or something like that. They're in the real estate market. Modine, Viasat, Urban Outfitters, Alvotech, Skyline Champion, and XP Incorporated. Wednesday morning, we got Target as people call it, TJ Maxx. I don't know why I got ready to say Tom Joyner. I saw TJ and my mind went straight to Tom Joyner. Analog Digital is going to be Wednesday before the market opens. Dorian, LPG, Dicom, Golden Ocean, Walk Me, Petco, Williams Sonoma, ARBE. NVIDIA, of course, highly anticipated Wednesday morning is NVIDIA. It's kind of like in here by itself. Not going to say in here by itself, but it seems like it's like the biggest big boy on this week by itself. Snowflake is also going to be Wednesday after market closes. ELF, the makeup people. We need, what's her name? Geraldine always watches or trades ELF. She was. Some people in my community trade ELF, so they got earnings on Wednesday. Y'all keep that in mind. VF Corporation, Synopsys, Starbucks, LiveRamp, SQM, Grupo, Agora. I was thinking of, is that American Eagle that's been on that tear, that's been running up so big? I think it was American Eagle with the new CEO. Thursday morning, we got Ralph Lauren, Maxion, TD Bank, BJ's, Medtronic, Polestar, Endava, NetEase Games, Titan Machinery, and Celebrite. Thursday after market closes, we got Decker Brands, Intuit. Ross is going on Thursday, which Ross and TJ Maxx may trade along. They made sympathy trade, even though they've got their own earnings. Workday is here, Silvercorp Emerin, Stepstone, Woodmark, Cavco, Lionsgate. I wonder if that's the whole Lionsgate, the movie people. And then Friday morning, we've got BAH, which is what, Booz Allen Hamilton, and Mesa Labs. These are the anticipated ones. Again, this list is not all inclusive. Okay, this list is not all inclusive. So keep that in mind. All righty, I'm going to, did y'all see that? Nope, I don't think y'all saw a thing. Jamie ain't got time to be calling me these days. Wait a minute, y'all. I'm putting it back on the screen because I thought I selected share and I did not. So here we go. Earnings again. If you're in my communities, of course, this picture is in the. Y'all are so funny. I'm surprised Jamie didn't call her and say we can't see Nathan. These are all the things that are going to have earnings this week is all here. I was hitting the highlights. Palo Alto and Zoom are Monday after close. Tuesday morning we had Zim and Lowe's and AutoZone, Macy's. Those are, XP seems to be one that's people like to trade. Wednesday morning we got Target, TJ Maxx, Analog Digital. After we've got Nvidia, Snowflake. Both of those Elf is here on Wednesday after close. Thursday morning, we got TD Bank, BJ's. Thursday after close, you got Ross and Workday. And then Friday morning, we've got Booz Allen Hamilton and Mesa Labs. Okay. My people, I love y'all. Just know these are my people and I love them. Okay. Stop sharing. So that way we can go back to the right one. No, where is my thing? This is not what I did here. You are not doing right. Remove. Let me go and grab the right slides because this ain't it. Well, we don't have the right slides in here. That's what happened. I knew I put the right slides. I knew I put the right earnings in that slide deck. And then it looks like I didn't upload the slide deck. That's important because I moved that Adam thing moves to the bottom on Sundays. Adam is a during the week thing. Okay, here we go. No, Jamie did call. Jamie leaving me hanging these days. I don't know what's up with him. Then he'll get mad if I call his whole name. We see the same May 13th chart. Pelosi. Yep, her name was Nancy Pelosi. Surprised Jamie didn't call. Deborah says, call and say what? We can't see the right. Y'all couldn't see the right one. Jamie, you did call. I'm going to create a bat signal. That'll work. Yeah, that'll work. What is going on with that? Okay. Oh, goodness. Not a bat signal. Oh, the people. Yeah, if you send me, you can just send me something. Actually, when you call, that lets me know something is not right. So I don't have a problem with that. When you do call, Mike, something must be going on because he wouldn't be calling me in the middle. He know I'm on this call. Why would he be calling me if he knows I'm on the call? Yeah, that's what I say out loud. Okay, so this is May 20th. This was the one we just looked at. And this is our slide. This is the graphic for all of our trades. We got a long list on the put credit spread side, and we've got a pretty good fair amount on the call credit spread. I've said this before, and I will say it again and again. There is literally thousands of dollars on this list. Yes. Now, one thing I said, the call is the bat signal. Yes. One thing I said in the post when I made this post this morning with the when I made this post this morning was I want you to pick maybe 1, 2, 3, and then lean in on contracts. So, for example, what I mean by that is if you have $500, let's say I'm just pulling a random amount of money, you have $500 you're going to trade on credit spreads. Maybe you pick 2 and you do 200 on one and 300 on another. Let's do multiple contracts. That means you only have to watch one thing. If you're going to do 500, maybe you pick Amazon. You do 2 contracts of Amazon, right? It's a 2.5 spread. You do 2 contracts of Amazon, pull in your premiums, and then all you got to watch is Amazon. You don't have to watch Amazon and Dash and Datadog and Royal Caribbean and TJ Maxx, which TJ Maxx has got earnings, so we probably shouldn't have that on this list. But I want you to start thinking about that, about locking in on a trade and starting to, build up your contracts. Now, I've said before, and I still, still mean it. If sometimes you have $500, you do 5 different ones. That way, if one ship goes under, the other 5 did fine. That's another philosophy as well, right? But I do want you to consider, as you move forward, to consider going deeper versus wider. Maybe you pick 4 or 5 that you like. And then as you get more comfortable and your money grows, you then get 2 contracts and 3 contracts and 4 contracts, right? So that you start to get heavier on the contract. That way you can see your returns be a little bit different. Okay. Everybody understand what I'm saying by that? I hope so. Now we see our list. Which ones do we like off this list? Which ones? I do have some things I'm going to chart. I'm going to chart some XLs. I know Jamie can be like, yes, it's about time. I'm going to chart XLE, XLC, XLY, and XLF. Those sectors have some good stuff going on. We're going to go look at those sectors and see some stuff in there. I'm going to chart WDC. I'm going to chart IBM. I don't think Merck is on our list, but I'm going to chart it. I'm thinking maybe ON and Taiwan Semiconductor, just because they are some things called sympathy plays for the semiconductor space. What else do we want to look at? I got a bunch of stuff on here, but that doesn't mean we can't look at some other things, right? I think most of everything I put. You curious about PayPal? Is PayPal on our list? Yes, it is. Okay. Oh, 2 people. What's the draw for PayPal? Y'all let me know. Is something going on with PayPal, or you just want to look at it for? And I mean, it's fine. I just was wondering. I got 2 people saying the same thing. I just was wondering, what's the thing for PayPal? PayPal, I see here is a 6162. So let's go look at that. XLF, WDC. I think y'all see I put them in order. I put it in alphabetical order this time instead of price order. Usually I put it in price order, but I decided that many times people don't necessarily know what the price of something is, but they do know the ticker name. So I decided to put it in alphabetical order instead of price order. Anything else on there we see of interest? They had earnings, but now hey, Royal Diadem, that happens almost every time with PayPal and Zoom. Zoom do the same thing. You have some PayPal shares. Okay, cool. Let's go look at that. I'll say, is there anything on the call credit spread list of interest to me? Square had earnings and then it dipped, baby. And then do we have anybody? Tanya didn't say nothing about Exxon? Oh my goodness, Lord. Oh, I see Google on the list. Okay. If anything else pops up, then let's look at it. 172.5 on the put side. PayPal, we got okay. Exxon, I got 122 on the call side. Taiwan Semiconductors, I got 145 and 46 on the put side. ON is on this list somewhere. Yes, it is. 60, 69, 70. And C is on this list, 61, 62. Okay. Let's go see what we see. Yes. Let's go see what we see here. Let me get on the right page, because I don't want the phone call. Now that y'all know what to do to call, I don't want the calls. Screen 1, allow. Here we go. Now we can see what we see. Okay. Hope everybody can see the screen. We're going to start with XLE. We're looking at credit spreads for the week. Did anybody get in any credit spreads on Friday as I suggested? Anybody look in on Friday? I did some. Did I do it in my sim or did I do it live? Even in your sim, I'm interested. Who's doing some sim stuff that you carrying over the weekend? Anybody? I don't want the volume down there. Did we do any sim over the weekend trades? Okay, XLE is where I am right now. And I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible because I know we're starting much later than we usually do. But I want to, make sure that we're getting our questions answered. So if you've got questions, please be sure to pose them. XLE. Got some supports around here. XLE would be called a 2 up on the day, which can be an indication that it's going to go on up a little bit higher. Go on up a little higher. I'm trying to get it to show me more stuff over here to the right, but it won't do that. May have a little bit more room going up. So we've got a bit of a climbing trend here. See this big wick here let us know that it was trying to go up some more. Now then you had a little doji, which was an inverted hammer for it to turn around. Basically did this right here. So if we were looking here, I would look at a, for XLE, I would be looking, put credit spread. Why do I feel like my moving averages should be on? I feel like when I do it, let me see, are they already there? And I just have them silence. They may not be there. Nope. We can put you on. I didn't mean to turn you on. Okay, I picked you. Why didn't you come on? I'll say, is there a reason why you're not coming on? Okay, that's one. I really wanted more than one. Here we go. Let's do the next one. This one I want to be a 20. Okay. So now we do have some moving averages. They are the one closest to the price action is going to be the short time frame. Let me change one of these so that way it doesn't look like that. So we'll at least know what we're looking at. Edit. The close one will make green. It's already green. And the furthest one will make, I'll change it to blue, can y'all see blue? I kind of don't want to do red, but that's for the sake of time. Let's do that. Okay, the longer one is the red one. The shorter one is the green. It's going to be closer to the price, but they're coming back together to cross over and potentially go on, potentially go on up and do their thing. XLE, if I was doing XLE, I'd be looking at put credit spread probably for the week. Let me see where the option chain is. There we go. Go to single and put credit spread side, probability of the money is my thing. 93 or 93.5, depending on where your comfort level is. Let's flip back to the chart. 93 is our support here. So we would potentially do PCS at 93 or 93.5. Now, y'all know when I put just a number, all I'm putting in is the number for the sell leg. I'm not giving the whole spread. I'm just putting the number because you can widen the spread out and be as whatever you want it to be. But PCS at the 93 or 93.5. You've got some support here. It's above 93.5 at 94.96. Let's go see what I don't know if the plus minus numbers show up here. Yes, they do. It's plus minus 1.6. So if you took away 1.6, we'd be at 93.3, which is right around 93.5. All right. So 93 or 93.5, I think would be fine here. Again, I won't say this again, but it's not investment advice. I'm just showing you what I'm showing you. Right. But if you like XLE, put credit spread would be something I would be looking at. XLC, that's the energy sector. What some stuff is in the energy sector would be like Devon Energy. I believe Exxon falls in that space because Exxon, that's gas and energy, right? Exxon falls in that space. Path, I think, is an energy. There's a few different ones that's on our list that fall into this space. So then I know Devin is on the put credit spread list. Exxon is actually on the call credit spread list, but Path is one of those. I think Path is energy. If it's not, somebody correct me. But the things that are energy are what? CVX, that's energy. I believe all the fuels and petroleum fall under the energy category, right? If I'm not right about that, y'all tell me. XLC is our next one. This is communication sector. The communication sector is XLC. We do see there's been a nice little ride going on XLC as well. Nice little ride on XLC. Let's see about getting us some lines up here. All right, we've got some big old gap up here. I may need to move the screen so I can see I can't see any comments, and that's never a good thing when I can't see the comments. I can't see what's being said. Okay, let's see where my mouse is. I'm going to stop sharing so that way I can move this to the other screen. I can see what's going on. What's going on? Okay, so Tanya said, so if NVIDIA takes the market up, I'm thinking put credit spread would be a safer territory. SOXL. Okay, I put SOXL on our list too. It's again in the semiconductor space. Still in AMD. I believe I'm in AMD as well. NVDL. Somebody else mentioned NVDL to me to trade in place of NVIDIA. Janae said, I simmed last week, started as a call in NVIDIA, then made it an iron condor, let it expire worthless. All good, but waiting to get out tomorrow live. Live in living color. Okay, let's put ourselves back on the screen. Okay. I probably don't want to see my Facebook page. Okay, so looking at XLC, see the moving averages have also started to stack up, which gives a good indication of some upwards mobility, right? So we've got support here. There's more supports in this area. 81. This is coming. We've got support from back here in March there. We do have some resistance at 83 and some more at 82.78. Right, so we are kind of between some zones. We're torn between two zones. We've got a little bit of a gap. The gap got filled just a bit here, but we still have some little bit of room. So if I was going with that, I probably, I almost feel like SLC could go either way. Let me switch this to a weekly chart and see, because it might be at an inside week, and an inside week means it could go. It could literally go away. It could go either way. No, it's actually on an upwards week. It's on a green week. It's been in a continuation. These are three. Oh, what did we do to fill in my? I remember what we did to fill in my my candles. Style maybe. I'm trying to remember what we did. Do y'all remember? How did we fill in the candles? Appearance, maybe? Fill up. There we go. Here we go. We're filling up. I do like that it's been going up from here, but it is coming into some resistance. So XLC could be a put credit spread, but it could also, this is on the weekly chart, but it could also be a, pull back some and went on up some more. It could also be an iron condor or a give it a minute. Y'all see what this chart looks like? It kind of pulled back and then went back up, and it's really back up at 83. Current price is 82.61. Right? I think I would feel safer with a put credit spread if I was doing this. I would feel safer there. So looking at XLC, Put credit spread, we got plus or minus 1.1, which is like takes us down to what, 80, 81.5, 81, 81.5. Probability out of the money is, this isn't accurate. That says 60 something percent. That is definitely not accurate. Not this many candles away, and then it don't even get to 70 till way down there. Yeah, no. Looking at the chart though, let's go back to the chart then, because you can't always depend on that, can you? So let's go. I probably would look at 82, 81.5, 82. I probably would go in there again, but subtract our 1.1 puts us at 82.5. Maybe you go down to 81.5. Sorry, go down to 81. Gonna make you feel a little bit better. A little bit better for XLC, but keeping in mind, if you're going to trade XLC, you're going to want to keep in mind that it is close to resistance. And of course, we just needed to stay above our strike, but you're going to want to be sure that, because last time it hit this resistance up here, it hit it hard and dropped back down to 81. So you would be at 81 anyway, or 81.5. So you'd actually be below where it dropped down to the last time. So, keep that in mind. Let's go look at XLY. If y'all see stuff on the chart that I overlook, definitely jump in and say something. XLY, I see some support in the 177 area, but I also see resistance at the 179. It's been consolidating in this area for a good little while. XLY is consumer discretionary, which consumer discretionary is important to those who look at economic stuff, because where people spend their discretionary money matters as to how comfortable folks feel. If you aren't comfortable with what's happening with the economy or whatever, you will do stuff like not go to the movies, or the things that are that you don't need to do. Right? You won't do some of those things. And people wonder, if you won't spend your discretionary money, then people are like, well, maybe they are feeling, a little uncomfortable. So I could see us above the 179. Again, you could probably, iron condor this one as well. If you were feeling so froggy, you were feeling so inclined, we're going to go look at the option chain and see. But I see down to 176 and some 93, which is like 177, or up as high as 180. It's been in this zone for a minute, XLY. So let's go look at it. XLY, what did I just say is the prices? 177 and 180. 177 gives us, I'm not liking this probability out of the money, the plus or minus 1.99. So add or subtract 2 plus is at 176, which for us will be 175. 176, oh, it's a one spread up here, 176. And if you add 2 to that, we're at 181. So 176 and 181. 176 and 181. Let's see what kind of money we're talking about. 176. The XLs always act a monkey. You're not going to make $91 off of one spread. Why they act up when the market is closed? Okay, 175, 176 is not going to pay $91. It's just not. We're not that close. It wouldn't pay 91 if it was right here on top of at the money. And then what do we say? 1 to add 2 would be 181. 181 says another. You're gonna pay. Then they're gonna give you 50. You're gonna give them $15. Nope. XLY is. I think that you have opportunity here, but you're gonna definitely need to wait till the market opens so you can see what those numbers look like. If that's something you're interested in, what kind of thing goes in? What kind of things would go into consumer discretionary that's on our list? The things that are on our list that will fall in consumer discretionary. Let me see. Well, Kroger's here. I don't think groceries are discretionary. What y'all think? Maybe TJ Maxx could fall in the consumer discretionary. UAL, so flying. Could flying be consumer discretionary? Jamie's my XL person. Wells Fargo, WDC is some Western Digital. DoorDash. Hey, DoorDash would fall into consumer discretionary. Just sign me up. Yeah, if it's $91 for one spread, I'll take that trade too. MGM is the movies. or streaming things. That would be consumer discretion. Starbucks. Yep. TJ Maxx, Wynn. What's Wynn? Wynn is resorts, right? Wynn resorts. Yeah, those are the things that would fall under consumer discretionary. I agree with that. Okay. So those, if you're going to trade consumer discretionary, look at some of those stocks or those particular ones that you are interested in. Let's look at XLF. I do remember times we would do some of these and they would act up on when we be, what are you doing? When we would be doing this on the weekend, the option chain wouldn't always act right. TJ Maxx, Starbucks, MGM, Dash, and Wynn. Yeah, those are the ones that definitely would fall into consumer discretionary. This is XLF, which is finance. You know, we've got Wells Fargo on the list. We've got Citigroup on the list. Visa's not on our list, but I did have them written down, but I changed it to Citigroup. So this is XLF. Finance has been doing their thing. And what I heard, the one guy said it was like, it's going up until proven otherwise. It's going up till proven otherwise, and we can see that it's doing just that. So let's look here at some support. What do we see for support here? We see a slowdown right up in chill, and we see at 41. So we've got 42 and some change, 41.67. There's a gap here that got filled over here, so that's okay. I see another chair down in the 41 and some change. Plus, this was a resistance point back a little ways. So current price is 42.50, and I do see 3 supports between there and 41. So let's go look at XLF on the single chart. We're looking at 42 is actually 74% probability out of the money. So 83 is at 41. So 41.5 is going to be somewhere in the middle. So between 41.5 is going to be XLF. Let's go see if we see any. We got a plus minus 0.7. So take 0.7 away. We're at what? 41.5. I mean, I rounded to $1. 41.5 would be in here. 41.5. It's going to be minus $10. That's not what happens. So I'm in the sim. I'm looking at the paper trading. And yeah, you know, a bunch of people changed over to Schwab this past week. And I can't say I'm a fan quite yet. I did at least keep Thinkorswim because I was already using Thinkorswim, but some of the stuff that Schwab has is a little bit different. So that in itself is kind of like nah. Oh, I didn't want that there. Nope, not you. Go back away. I guess I don't want any of those. Okay, so this says it's $21 debit, but it's red. So if it's red, that is a credit, and the negative 21 puts it in debit, which is weird all by itself. Again, these will switch over when the market is open. The XLs, they don't want to do right on the weekend, so we're going to let them. But I like XLF as something to look at again. XLF, I think you should put on your watch list or the things that fall on XLF. So what falls on XLF? Where's my mouse? What falls on XLF? Well, we've got, XLC was communication, and Verizon was in there. XLF would be Bank of America. BAC is Bank of America, yeah. Citigroup, so that's finance. Would go with Morgan Stanley. Yeah, that's Morgan Stanley there. And Wells Fargo would go. All of those will fall into the finance category, the finance sector. If you want to work up with the finance sector. All right, let's trade back. Go on back to WDC is not on. Yes, it is. It's at the bottom of that list. I just said it was down there. 68, 69 is what I have as far as charted places, as far as numbers. Let's go see the daily chart. We got support here. We got some more support here. We've got some resistance up here, and we've got a gap above us that is going to beg to be filled, right? And I probably would put something in here. This gap actually went further. It didn't get filled from before. So it is still there from previously. Just skipped over that same area, but the price is going to want to get back into that gap. You know, nature abhors a vacuum. So if we're looking at that, potentially go on up some more for the week. This is Western Digital. Western Digital. So been a slow ride, kind of a choppy ride up, but it's still been, you know, it's got some opportunity to go up. As far as this goes, this actually is a downwards. And let's go on the weekly and see if we see anything that catches our attention. Anything on the weekly chart that catches our Ooh, look at this candle from Friday. I mean, for last week. Talk about a sword. Shoot, 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 shoot. What is this doing? What do y'all think that's doing? Nothing. Definitely indecision. A lot of seller pressure. The buyers took it up. The sellers pushed it right back to the same spot. Like, not up here. Not up in here, house. But there's not been much movement happening for these last 3 candles. But it did get outside. If outside week, it did get up outside to the upside last week. So that means it wants to go back up there. This candle is saying it wants to go outside too. Let's go look at the daily chart again. Let's see, is that big enough? Anybody see anything of interest here? I do see that it pulled back, but you got 71 as your support in this area. Let's go see what the option chain looks like. Take us back to single. 68, 69, that's what I came up with for our put credit spread strikes. Puts us at 70. You can go down one more if you want a little bit more support. 60, 68, 69, no. I'm feeling that. That's paying $17. Of course, market is closed, but WDC, Western Digital, thoughts of going up. Again, it's on our list, on the put credit spread part of our list. So you can put that on your watch list if you're so inclined. Let's go look at, my mouse just goes poof, it disappears. SOXL. You know I like trading SOXL because it gives us exposure to the semiconductor space for a much lower cost. Give us a much lower cost. We can trade and get in on some stuff for less monies. Okay, let's see what we have here. Okay, we've got a gap below us. The price from Friday did go into it just a taste, but it didn't get all the way through. We've got some support at the 41.31. Let me see what kind of resistance we have up here. Resistance I see is right here in the 48 zone. And there's a little bit more up here at 56. This was a big old monster candle back here. What happened there? It fell so bad that day. But up in this area, the 48 and some change, we can see that, I did not need all those. We can see that there's some resistance up in here. Okay, I was trying to have this one kind of cover. There's a little bit of a gap back here that was not filled. It was filled with wicks, but not filled with full prices, but that's like 48.74 in that zone. Let me get a little bit bigger because that gap really may call to some people. Come on. It's a little bitty, itty bitty one. And then if you drag it out some more, it's again it's a fine little gap. Let's see if I can find it again. There we go. Very small, but it has yet to be filled. And then if we were to extend it, still there, the wick went into it Thursday. There's there. Okay. So what do we see here? We see SOXL right into some resistance, right? Of the resistance of this gap. And you got 48.74, but you're just on top of a gap too. So you got a gap up and of the top and the bottom. So from what do y'all think? From a trending standpoint, we've got a trend line going this way, but it's coming right into some resistance. Now, we don't want to get in front of a train. I would probably use the trend line as a support, and I'd use the bottom of this gap as some support. If I wanted to trade SOXL, so I'd get below 43. Let's go see what the option chain shows us. See if the option chain supports the 43. Well, 70% probability, 74 is at 42 or 41, 77% at 41. So that does put us below those supports. If I was doing it, I probably would go with 40, 41. That would feel safe. Now, I would be mindful. If you're going to do these, I would be very mindful that NVIDIA is having earnings on Wednesday. So that an SOXL trade sympathy could get a lot of pop or drop. You know, pop to me means either way, but it could pop or drop based on what happens with that earnings. 4041 is paying $17. That's a good 17% return for 4041. But you want to be careful because if NVIDIA moves hard one way or the other, it's going to take SOXL with it. Okay. Just keep that in mind as you decide what you're going to trade. What I suggest is that you see what those semiconductors, NVIDIA is going to have an effect on various things. So if you're trading some of those things, maybe you don't trade those and you wait till afterwards and then trade and ride the train, right? Not necessarily get in front of it, but wait till the earnings are reported. Remember, as sellers, we can wait till Wednesday after. Well, they're reporting Wednesday after close. You can wait till Thursday, get you in a trade and get out that Friday. Volatility is probably still going to be up, so you're going to be able to maybe get decent premiums. We're going to use wisdom in our trading. We're going to use wisdom in these trader streets. Okay, we got a monster gap here that is desiring to be filled between 158 some change and 164. So a $6 gap is there. But Google looked like it done went on about its way. Like, you know what? Y'all waiting around for me. I'm gone. Don't wait on me. I left already. Okay. But you can see we on the upwards, but it is into all-time highs, baby. All-time highs. Don't mean it can't keep going, but it's up here It's up. We out here. It's out here because the resistance actually just surpassed what will be this resistance. And you could say this would be a full zone. I'm actually going to put the line on the top of it. And so it has gone out. The 176.5 is the high, and 177.5 is where it currently is. Can it pull back into this zone? Yep, it can. It can. It did close outside of it, which is a good sign, but it can pull back into it. Actually, it's currently 177.3. It's not below this 176.5, but it's lower than that high there. Okay, let's go look and see our trade for Google. We had 172.5 put credit spread is what we have, which would be 170, 172.5, paying $25. That's a 10% return on your monies, but you definitely want to be 172.5 is going to be below this support here, going to be below this 172.8. Going to be below that. Okay. I did SOXL. I did Google. Let's go to PayPal. What questions or comments? Y'all quiet. Listen, while we hanging out, go ahead and like and subscribe. Go ahead and hit the notification bell. Hit the thumbs up. Do all the things. Pass the word. Tell folks we're here. Our list is on. Send a message to your trading buddies and say, come over to Educator to Trader on YouTube. Let's see what we're talking about over there. All right. We got a little bit more to go. And we want to make sure we're getting ourselves ready for the morning. We want to get ready for the morning. Okay. This is PayPal. I got like 4 or 5 more on the list. Where are we? PayPal. Let's see what we got going here. Support at 63. Support at 63.60. Support at 62 and some change. There is a gap down here that is going to beg to be filled between 62. The bottom of this gap is 62.37, going up to where the support is at 63.01. That gap is going to desire filling. We also have resistance at 65. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. It's been in this little zone, right? So 65 being resistance. And I would see the top of this gap, 63.01, or the bottom, 62.35 as support. What's the closest thing to a cheat sheet for understanding options terminology? It's a good point. Jamie, do you know of something we have in our resources that like a cheat sheet for terminology? We've gone through we go through it in our options 411, but I don't know if we've ever put a cheat sheet together. Let's see. Maybe look at that. Go to my page, the E2T/freebies.com, and go to the options quick start. Ward, go and pick the options quick start. There should be some in there. I don't know how much. And not that I want to send you to somebody else, but you can always do basic options terminology, Google search. Okay. So I see PayPal. Well, PayPal, it's got a little, what I see now is a little flag going. Let's see. It was way up yonder. PayPal was going up yonder like we used to sing in church. And it came up from here, and now it's right in between these two, trying to figure out which way we're going. It could bust out going either direction. It is really in the middle of these two zones. As far as the daily candle, it does show itself that it's an upside, it's a 2 up. So it's an up candle. It's outside of the top bounds of this one. So this would be a 2 up. Like it could continue to go on up from here. Let's see what the weekly looks like. This is what's called an inside week. And it's an inside week because the top and the bottom are inside the previous candle. This is like the reverse of a engulfing candle. This candle, last week's candle, is between these two between the top and the bottom of the previous week's candle. So this says that as a one, it can go, outside going to the top. It can go, using this top of this line. Once it goes up there and bust out of 65.51, then it's going up. Or if it goes below 63.25, it potentially will be going down. So you can use those lines. You see, I'm gonna put a different type of line on here so you can see what I'm talking about. I'll put that here and I'll put this one here, but I'm gonna go and change them up so you can see. Okay, so I want to turn off the left extension and I'll show the words upwards above 65.52. Okay, 65, and that's a rough number. And then this one here was, I probably should change this color to something that's not red, so that way it stands out a little bit more. I'll make it blue, the blue one. And then this one, turning off the left, and then I'll have it show on the right. I didn't have the other one show. Downwards below 63.17. Okay, I'm going to have this one show on the right. Okay, and then I need to turn this blue. Okay, so if you're looking at PayPal, you've got it's got the potential to continue on upwards above 65.52 or to continue downwards below 63.70. Okay, and this is that's a strat thing that if you're in this would be a one candle, and this one candle basically says when it breaks out going over to the top or going to the bottom, then it potentially keep going in that direction until it hits the next target. Target going up would be the top of this candle. Target going down would be the bottom of this candle next to it. Okay. Anybody got questions about that? The stuff I just said about PayPal? I do have it on our list for 61.62 put credit spread. 61.62 put credit spread, which would put it underneath, actually puts it underneath both of these supports. Put credit spread. Okay, click. Put credit spread 61.62. Okay, that was PayPal. Let's go with C. Looking at Citigroup, seeing that it's in the finance space. And it's on our list. It's been a minute since we came back into my sim and charted it. Of course, I look at Citigroup regularly. It's something I trade regularly. We have, let me get it off the weekly chart. Even though weekly chart would give us a good indication of what's going on too before I go to daily. Where are you? Support at 61.39. It's into resistance. It's at the weekly resistance. So it could pull back a little bit, but it's got some support with the trend line about 62. If we were to look at the option chain as a single, 73 is at 63 and 87 is at 62. I have it at 61.62 put credit spread. 61.62 put credit spread. I don't like that it says $5. I don't like that. Okay, so you're going to want to look if Citigroup is something you're going to trade. You're definitely going to want to wait and see what it does movement wise, because it's got a plus or minus 1.5, but 1.5 from here is going to put us again at 62.5, but there's no 0.5s here. If you wanted to look on the top side because it's at resistance, you could. It's been on an upwards movement though, but it shows that 66 is 87% probability out of the money. And 66, 67 is also paying $6. I don't like those premiums whatsoever. If the premiums aren't bad when you're trying to, if you're buying contracts and they're this low, you're like, oh, this isn't so bad. But when you're selling contracts and they're this low, you're like, I don't think I like that. I want more monies out of that. I want a little more money out of that. Let's go look at ON. ON is in the semiconductor space. Got upwards movement on the weekly chart. Nope, not 4 hours. I need daily. Okay. There we go. We had a little bit of pullback a few days ago, but we got a gap here that's going to want filling. Y'all see how many times we see gap stuff. So you need to make sure, if you don't know for sure how do you trade gaps, you need to kind of have a gap strategy. Some people want to just ride it. When it gets into the gap, they ride it through. But you'll see here that sometimes the price gets into the gap. We're pointing at the wrong thing. Sometimes the price gets into the gap and then doesn't fill it. So you can't always go with a complete gap fill because it may not fill it. It may go down to a part and turn back. So you always want to have a bit of a gap trading plan. Okay. So what I see though, oh no, what are you doing? Okay, 71.62 on. I've got 69.70 as a put credit spread. Just because, let me see if does it have plus minus? Yep, plus minus 3. It's a little volatile, buddy, for $73. 69.70 is what I have, and I went with the 82% probability out of the money. You could have went with one up to 74 if you're a little more aggressive. If not, you can stick with 69.70. We can go with 69.70 here. That's paying $12, 12% return. If you're feeling a little more aggressive, you can go on up to 70.71, and that's paying $19. Okay, but on our sheet, 69.70 put credit spread. Take in your $12. But we talked the other day, though, if we take in more premiums, then we're going to be in a better position. We're going to maybe feel a little bit better when you close it partway through. You close it halfway. You close it at 70%. If you've taken in $20 and you close it at 70%, $14 is going to feel a little different than if you took in $10 and you're closing it for $3, right? Or at $7. So you keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Taiwan Semiconductors. After this one, we've got Exxon, and we're going to let you got something else. We're going to wrap it up. We've been here an hour and 13 minutes, and I'll start to land the plane, as they say. Let's go look at the chart first. Taiwan Semiconductors, right? This chart almost looks like those other ones. Y'all see that? How ON looks the same, NVIDIA, they all kind of have this same pull up, pull back. SOXL had this same look going. They all seem to have the same kind of setup. We got a gap here that's going to want to be filled there. So the top of the gap, 146. The bottom of the gap is 143. And if you hit like halfway, the 50% mark is like 144 and some change. Will provide some support as well. So 155.72 is the resistance. And top first support is 146.22. For Taiwan Semiconductors, I have 145. No, they have 144 and 145. Let's go look at the option chain. You could do 145, 146 even because you got 77%. But if you want a little bit more cush, -6, you take 6 away from here. We're at what, 145? 145 would be going with the plus minus number, and it's an 81% probability out of the money. A lot of people would like that, and I could see why. 145 is going to pay $15, and it still gives good premiums. Feeling safe and getting good premiums, yes, we can do that. We can do that. I want to say I'm in Taiwan Semiconductors as an iron condor. I feel like I'm in an iron condor for them. I have to look at my live, but I think I'm in an iron condor with Taiwan Semiconductors. Right? Exxon, speaking of Taiwan, speaking of iron condors, Exxon is on the, I'm looking at the wrong one. Exxon is on the iron condor list. Is it Exxon? Oh, sorry, Oxy. Exxon is actually on the call credit spread list, and Oxy is on the iron condor list. And you know what's interesting? These numbers from these numbers here were the exact same numbers as last week. So if the Oxy trade had been taken last week, it would have been profitable on both sides because the numbers did not change. I'm gonna look at Oxy before we go to. Maybe I'll do that one first. Because the numbers didn't change at all. They stayed exactly the same. I went looking. It was like it didn't do a thing. There we go. See, it's just been hanging in. Let's see what the week's looking like. If it's trying to get out of a weekly hold. Yep. If we look at the week, it's a 2 down, which means it has broken out of the bottom of this week. But it's a hammer. And a hammer could mean I broke down, but I came right back up. The buyers pushed it back up. And this hammer could mean we've got more upwards going. Maybe we just pull back enough to go back up. Right back into the zone, right? So if we go back to the daily, we can go right back into the zone we were trying to get out of, because these last 4 days, it's been in the zone. So let's see. I probably would bring that down a little bit, seeing that we did see some downwards pressure a little bit. I would bring this down, maybe 62 and some change. If we went all the way down, this is 61.97. So 62 could be the bottom. Probably be a little bit safer. And if you were looking at the top, what do I have on the graphic? Between 62.5 and, yep, 62 at the bottom, 65 on the top. 62 as the put credit spread sell leg and 65 as the call credit spread sell leg. Between 62 and 65, this is right where this is. 62 is below here, 65 is above here, and all these days have been inside that zone. So let's go see what kind of money that looks like though. 62 and 65, if we just look straight here, 62 is going to pay $9, right? Add that to the 65, which is going to pay $11. You're taking in $20 for a one spread, 20% return. Could potentially be a good good iron condor trade. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Could potentially be a good one. Okay. I want you all to continue to remember we are in Sim May. Why are we in Sim May? We're in Sim May because I want you to, number one, either be working on fine-tuning a strategy that you already have, but maybe it's not as profitable as you want. Maybe you want to expand it in the Sim. Or two, starting and trading a new strategy that you're trying to learn. Like, not when you're fine tuning, you could be fine tuning in the sim. You can actually run them both at the same time. And or two, you got a new strategy you're trying and you want to learn it in the sim and not learn it with your real money. We're using May to get ourselves comfortable with our strategies and getting better. We're testing it out or learning something new, and we're doing it in the sim, all of it. Oh, I got a great idea for June, but we got to get out of May first. Once we get out of May, we'll go to our challenge for June. I have a great idea for June. I think it's a great idea. So we're going to do that in June, but we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about Sim May. May in the sim, in the paper trading. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and start with the chart. And the reason I'm saying please is not for me, really it's for you. Because as we talk about different charting things, where do we put our support? Where do we put our resistance? Where do we put these gaps? Where do we put our trend lines? What indicators? What do these moving averages mean? When you talk about a hammer or an engulfing candle, what are you talking about? All that stuff is in Start with the Chart. All that stuff is in here and it's free. Just go over there and watch that 40-45 minutes and watch it a few times. It won't hurt you to watch it more than once. Watch it again, right? All I'm asking you for is your email address and just watch it again. Yeah. The E2T membership stays open. Whenever you start, then you pay every month at the same day you started, right? We don't prorate each month. You pay the $97 and each month you pay again on your day, right? 9:30 in the morning, we have the morning calls on YouTube. We do those. We have weekly training calls every Thursday, which I'm talking to the community. I think we're going to move that back. We're going to move it back to 7:00 instead of 8:00. And then our monthly coaching calls, we do have the first Saturday of every month. We also have a Telegram where we hang out together and I send in, different things. I'm there to support. I'm there to help. I put in some trade ideas. All that stuff happens. We're in there for each other and we're in it to win it. Yep. We're not a minute to win it, but we in it to win it. All right. I think that was all that's in there. Well, we got our credit spreads and our debit spreads. This bundle will help you trade if you're a buyer, debit spreads, and don't want to spend a bunch of money on all those trades. Or if you want to do credit spreads, you got a vertical credit spreads training as well. One thing that has popped up this week, which we haven't really spent a lot of time talking about this week, is, and it's not just this week, in a while we haven't spent time talking about it, which I need to rinse and repeat. I put a couple posts up and I do see that people have interest, so I need to start talking about it again. This is what I've been going into my sim with the SPX trades for the daily profits. And that full strategy for doing the daily profits on SPX or XSP, you can get it over at spxplaybook.net for $27. It's a full strategy of when do you enter, what do you look at, yada, yada. And you can pull in your premiums every single afternoon. What happens generally, two things can happen. One is people want to start getting it earlier, and then you expose yourself to SPX for too long. The second thing that happens is SPX can get right to the end of the day and decide it's just going to go nuts, which is why I want you to have seen what price action looked like before you enter those trades. But I want you to, get your strategy and try it in your sim. Try it in your sim. Go to spxplaybook.net and grab you a copy of it for $27. And then join the Telegram that I have for the SPX Playbook people. I have a Telegram for the people who use this strategy, who are doing the SPX. There's a Telegram group for those people. You can come join the Telegram group, and then you got somebody to help you answer questions and all those good things along the way. Okay. I wanted to cover those things, and I believe I have done what I was supposed to do. Tomorrow morning, we are live again on YouTube. Tomorrow, 9:25, we're live again on YouTube. So come over and join us. Set your alarm. Make sure you do the ding the bell and let them notify. I want to be notified every time she turn on her camera. Tell them that you want to be notified. And then you come on and join us, right? Come on and join us. Please follow me in all the places. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I have a Facebook group you can join too. There's a Facebook group you can join, Educator to Trader, but I changed the name to Options Trading for Beginners or something like that. But Educator to Trader is still there. You can join up with that. Okay, I'm gonna put that in the comments because we're not streaming into that group anymore. Who these people? StreamYard doesn't stream into the groups anymore. Groups -educator _2_trader. If you go over there and sign up to join, or you request to join the Facebook group, I'll let you in. I'll let you into the Facebook group. That way you'll be there amongst all of the people. Yeah, you'll be there amongst all the people. I'm actually going to start doing something where I am going to go live from within the group. And those who are in the group are going to be there and going to be able to see from a Zoom standpoint, are going to be able to see and interact with us. Because on YouTube, we can't really interact here. It's more like you can type comments, but there's no open your mic. But I'm thinking I might start doing like a Q&A once a week inside of the Facebook group. You think y'all would like that? Of course, if you're in my community, you can do that all the time. But if you're somebody who's not in my community, but you think you might like a Q&A to get yourself exposed to me, nobody responded. It means we don't want. It's okay. It's all right if we don't have. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. Whew. All right. I'm going to call it square for the night, and then I'm going to go and get myself ready. I want to ask you all a favor, though. Can I ask you all a favor? Those of you who are, in my community amongst me, can I ask you to say a prayer for my daughter? Can I say a prayer for my daughter? She's going to have surgery tomorrow, and I just want you to say a prayer for her. All right? And I'd appreciate it if you say a prayer for us, all of us. I see a comment, but it won't let me see the comment. It's a good idea. All right. Okay, you all. I will see you tomorrow, bright and early, 9:30, ready to trade on Monday morning. All right. Make sure you stay green and you get this money. Everybody have a good night. I will see you later. See you in the morning. Hasta mañana. Goodbye, everyone. It will be more like family. Thank you. Thank you, Cherie. Appreciate it.